Welcome back to the podcast where we dive into topics shaping young people's lives today. I'm Richardas, and in this episode, we're talking about something that's almost everywhere these days: productivity culture. It is empowering, toxic, or maybe both. How does it shape our routine, goals, or even self-worth? Joining me today is Sandra. Sandra, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone! So, as Richardas already mentioned, my name is Sandra, and I'm really excited to be here. Productivity has always been one of my biggest priorities for most of my life. I had the opportunity to work in various fields with some major companies, as well as I've also coached some individual entrepreneurs, helping them reach their goals through specifically productivity strategies and insights. So I'm looking forward to sharing what I've learned throughout my journey and hopefully give you some good takeaways today too.
Thank you very much. That's awesome. And I think we can start off with a really simple question. So, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word productivity?
So, for me, the word productivity now means a different thing than it used to. So now I'm in a very interesting state of reflection currently. So I would give you two definitions. One definition was when I was very in the hustle culture mindset a few years ago. So the old me would see productivity as a chore in a way. Like I would think of just checklists, self-development, keeping scores, and just squeezing every second of every day to achieve some kind of result, even if it means like tying myself out completely. So I would see it in a positive but also negative way, as it is some kind of chore, something that I have to do. But now it has changed completely. Now I see it, I see this word or just this concept of productivity as a part of balance, as a clarity of some sort. Like it's still very much related to how I'm spending my time. Like it's still related to the same checklist, but now it's different because now it's part of balance and now my priorities are different. So I see it in a much brighter light.
Okay, well, that's perfect. And I think we can dive into our main discussion right now. And Sandra, do you personally feel pressure to always feel be productive or like busy?
Right now, no. But I used to feel that way. I was very much, like on the grind, never stopping, never taking breaks, and a very unhealthy mindset, mindset in my opinion now.
Yeah.
But I used to feel that way. I think it was very easy for me to associate not being busy or productive with wasting time, and it was a major issue for me. Like I had a very common misconception that more work equaled more and better results, which is definitely not always true. And I just hated the idea of wasting time and like wasting potential. And I remember like even when I was sick and my body was like begging me to take a break because I had like such a big fever and like headaches and everything, and I still felt so guilty for not doing something busy or productive because I was wasting time. And I was always like I packed my schedule like as much as I could, no matter how much I did, like how many things I had on my checklist and how many things I checked off, I was still never really satisfied with the results, and it was still like never enough. I was never fully fulfilled. So that brings me to my current self. And now I don't feel the pressure to always be productive or busy, because now I still keep my schedule full. I still like to do checklists. I still like to manage my time, like write everything down. But I now make sure to intentionally book quality time for myself, for my family, for my friends. And I sometimes even prioritize these things over just staying at home and like working 24/7, because honestly, it has been way more beneficial for my mental health and even for my just overall results and achievements in the long run.
And where do you think that pressure comes from? Like, is it, for example, from school? Could it be from school? Maybe from social media, maybe from family expectations, or maybe just something that you want to build yourself, and maybe it's just yourself that is pushing it?
That's a really good question. I think it varies. I think a lot of the things, like the way that we are now when we are grown up, also a lot of the trauma and a lot of the qualities come from when we are little. And for instance, like you mentioned school, it's also a huge factor. I feel like in school, so like approximately for 12 years of your life, you were measured by your results, and you were, you know, taught that if you, for instance, don't know math, then you were kind of like looked down on, like you were looked down on as like a failure. So that consequently could transfer into your adult years, and then you kind of subconsciously then tie your self-worth to your achievements. And then maybe like parents, for example, if they kind of still have the same like old traditional mindset that good grades equals like good university equals good good job opportunities, and that equals like a stable and happy life, which is like not the case anymore practically at all. And they might do it from like just wanting the best for you, and it's because it was usually how it was for them. And they don't accept the fact that it's now like everything is changing, and they put a bit more pressure for you to, you know, be good in math and just get the grades up. And that is very, very, like, it's such a slippery slope to go, because then you will for sure, if school has the same, like teaches you the same things, that your value equals your grade, and parents say the same thing, then it's so easy to just not realize how that's so toxic. And also like a huge part of it is also social media, like the hustle culture, like the fake highlights of everything that promote like a certain lifestyle or mindset that looks so good on paper, like looks so aesthetic. It looks like, oh, they're achieving so much, and like they look good on paper or like in the videos, but they push comparison, and in reality it has a very negative side to it.
Yeah, I would like to specifically point out social media, just because I am a student myself right now. I'm in 12th grade, and what's happening on social media is kind of sad, just because I see so many online gurus trying to explain how to live your life to, I don't know, be financially independent, or I don't know, get lots of girls, or reach some sort of status in your life. But the truth is, people just view them. They don't really get any information from them. They just they're trying to chase the dopamine they're getting from those motivational videos. And it's kind of annoying for me, not gonna lie, but because I think that a lot of people should actually use discipline instead of just sitting on their phones all day and just watching them gurus talk and talk and talk and actually do nothing. And I think my next question is gonna be like, all those posts like rise and grind or no days off, what do you think that's motivating, or maybe it's just toxic for people?
Those are some really great insights. So I think it depends. I really like how you pointed out that so many people like think they're being motivated, but, or, you know, like they're learning how to be disciplined while just watching those videos, but in reality they're just sitting and scrolling. Like they're not actually getting up to do anything. So it's, in reality, it's just the same as like just rotting your brain and just continue scrolling all of like the other dumb videos that people post to get views. But for me, like, I think it depends. Like, for instance, there is a way that you could use it for actual motivation. Like, for example, if you don't have a certain environment that you could use to be motivated, like if there's just no one around, like if you live in a village and you're stuck in that village and all the people around you are like alcoholics that don't want you to get anywhere in life, and you just don't have that environment, and you could use social media to create that environment. You could use that social media, you could use those influencers to kind of like create that environment where like, oh, okay, people are doing something, I see people doing something, let me do something out of like, let me just not follow the path of these alcoholics, and let's follow the path of other people. So it could be a way to create an environment if you cannot create one physically. But it's also, you have to be very careful in general, because still the majority of those influences and the majority of that mindset can be very toxic for like numerous reasons. Like, for example, I don't know if you noticed, but I feel like it glorifies burnout. Like hustle culture treats exhaustion like it's a prize, like it's a badge of honor. Like the more hours you work, like the more like dedicated you seem. And it leads to so many negative things like stress, constant burnout, and it could even lead to like serious health issues, like physical and mental. And it also blurs the lines between work and life. Like you're always just on, you're always just working, you're always thinking about work. There's no rest, and rest is so needed. And another thing that we talked about like before with like the mindset that like school like kind of plants on you, that productivity becomes self-worth. So in hustle culture, I also noticed that your value is measured by your like achievements or your output, right? So, and at the same time, with like the no days off, no rest, they kind of like point out that if you rest, you kind of fail. So they compare rest to failure, which makes no sense to me at all. And it's actually should be the opposite, but you know, it's just the way it is. And it's so unsustainable because like, okay, sure, you might like go all the time for like 2 weeks, for like 3, maybe a month, but then eventually something will break. Either it's your relationship with your, I don't know, like your family, your like significant other, maybe it's your health, your like mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, your creativity, your sense of purpose. Something at some point will break if you follow that toxic, no break, no, you know, just always on the go type of pattern.
Yeah.
And,
go on.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry. So and just there's so many more things. Like for example, like it also seems like it values quantity over quality, which is also so bad. Like people are so obsessed with just doing more, and I have so many examples of people that I've coached also that struggle with this so much, that they're just obsessed with doing more and they just do everything worse. Like because hustle culture and like whole social media culture like just rewards like speed and volume, such things like that. And it's not, well, in actual like real life situations, you should value like strategy and just slow and long-term thinking. So in general, there is a way to motivate yourself with that content, you know, to create that environment where like, oh, like everything around me is just really bad right now. I don't have any people that could support me right now. Maybe I could, you know, motivate myself, but it's very important to know the side effects, kind of the other side of these posts, and not let it affect you. And also like know when to like, okay, so I see people doing, I'm going to put my phone down and I'm going to go do it, and not just get those dopamine like rushes and just like, oh yeah, I'm getting motivated. That's like the end of it. So I feel like it's very important to just be careful. Yeah,
true. I completely agree with you, and I would like to add, I think I could tell a story to your first part where you told us that that you could use the social media as actually a place where you can make social network, or you can make your vivid area, you know, where you can make people motivate you and inspire you. Like I want to go back to, I don't remember when COVID was, but like I want to go back to COVID times. And I used to be a streamer, and I remember that the only motivation I had was the people I had online, because I met them through social media. And I don't know, I haven't met like this type of nerds in such a long time. They loved the algorithms of YouTube, Twitch, and all the other social media, and you just sit there with them and you feel so stupid when you talk about it, but then you want to be as good as they are. So you try to do more, you try to understand, you try to do, and you actually catch up to them, and then you feel amazing. So I wanted to point out that this is a really good point you mentioned, that you can actually use this to your advantage to make a better surrounding area for you, just because maybe you don't have that. And elsewise, I think that for everyone is starting, like when you start to watch those motivational videos, it's okay. Yes, it comes as a motivation, but at some point your brain just turns off the wanting button, you know, wanting to do button. And then you just become a person who's scrolling. And I think that it's really important to understand when you're actually just chasing the dopamine and when you're actually trying to motivate yourself. Because if you watch them every single day, I think you're just chasing dopamine. If you're not implementing anything into your daily life, it's not going to be good. Personally, I never watch motivational videos just because I like people who, for example, show their daily lives. Let's say I'm watching a video where people are business owners and they're just showing their daily lives. And I watch them just to get a taste of what my life can be and how it would look like, and how can I try to implement that system into my today daily life, you know. And I think it's really, really important to understand that there is a point where you need to understand that it's only you who can change things, not those gurus online. It's only you. And I love that you mentioned a burnout. And my next question is going to be, have you ever experienced a burnout from trying to do too much at once?
Oh yeah, I think I would also like to add something to what you just mentioned. I think yes, mindset is so important, and that's another thing. Like, you know what I said with like productivity being your self-worth, and that's also everything just ties up to the mindset and the way you view yourself and you view the world, and the constant scrolling and not actually doing anything. It's a dangerous slippery slope. So just be careful when going into that, but it could also be a good motivation. And I also actually during COVID, I also, you're kind of stuck, like how I mentioned, you're kind of stuck in just this one little environment. The fact that we have technology now, and the fact that we could reach so many people and reach so many, like the people that we don't even know, like we could see their lives, like you said, like the influencers or the successful business people, we could see like they could upload their daily life, they could upload their thoughts, they could, I don't know, share some kind of knowledge. And with the help of technology, we can do so much, and so many people don't take advantage of that. And going back to burnout, yes, for sure. I'm pretty sure almost everyone at some point now has or will have experienced burnout. And the ones that have experienced it will probably agree that it's not very pleasurable. Have you experienced it?
Yeah, I have. I do not recommend it. It's really important to actually acknowledge it before it takes you over, because wow, you are depressed as hell then. You're tired, you're depressed, you don't want to do anything, and oh my lord, just try and save yourself from it. And I wanted to ask you, like, what were the signs for you of a burnout, and how did you deal with it afterwards?
Oh, good question. So for me, like kind of similar to what you told us, like very sad. And I'm usually, like, from my nature, I'm a very positive person, but I was feeling so negative. Like I was feeling so empty, so anxious, so like tense all the time, and like just detached from reality, numb, exhausted, like didn't have any motivation whatsoever to do anything at this point. Like the things that made me very happy, usually just like I just felt numb all the time. And like it's so weird because you feel like you're failing even though like everything is the same, so you're not failing. And that's only like the kind of like the mental like examples of what I felt like. All of these things also led to like just frequent headaches and migraines, and just I had so many like sleep problems and constantly feeling like drained even after like having a full night of sleep. So just so many things. But it's very important to catch it at the beginning of the burnout, and just try to get out of it as soon as possible. For me, the first step was admitting it. It was very hard for me since I was still in my, I can do everything, I don't need rest. So it was hard, but I admitted it at some point, and it was very needed. And I just started setting like just boundaries, and I started prioritizing things like sleep and nutrition and just my mental health, and started working out more, moving my body more. not just sitting in front of a computer and, you know, like working. Also, I just try to reconnect with just like some simple joys. You know, I started picking up my old hobbies again. I started seeing friends that I've kind of abandoned a little bit because I was just so focused on like the one thing. And I also did this one thing that I think really helped. So I did 24-hour challenges for myself. So I had to spend a day, basically 24 hours with doing nothing productive. Like I could not pick up a book. I could not pick up my computer to do something, like I could not do a thing that is productive. And I had to find a way to like enjoy it, to not tie, like to basically it was, the whole reason was to break the tie between self-worth and achievement and output. So it was basically I had to do nothing but still be proud of myself that I did nothing.